Okay, so are you ready to go back to Haddonfield one last time?
One last time, huh? I'll believe it when I see it.
Right. This is Halloween we're talking about, but for today, we're diving deep into Halloween Ends, supposedly the final chapter, at least for now, in the Michael Myers saga.
And let's be real, would it even be a Halloween movie without a little, or, a lot of controversy?
Yeah, this one definitely got people talking, some loving it, some, well, not so much,
Exactly.
which makes it perfect for a deep dive. So get ready, because we're breaking down the good, the bad, the ugly, the Michael Myers of it all.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Now, Halloween Ends makes a pretty bold move right off the bat, introducing us to a new character, Corey Cunningham. We're not just watching Michael stalk some random new victim here. This time, we're really getting into who Corey is.
Yeah, for sure. And he's presented as a pretty tragic figure from the start. Blamed for a horrific accident, he's immediately ostracized by the town, becomes this outcast. You almost start to see how that cruelty could actually turn someone into a monster. Almost like a twisted reflection of Michael's own origin story in a way.
Right, like the film's asking if evil can be contagious, if it can be passed down or learned, or maybe even created by our own actions.
Interesting. And that question really starts to take shape with this chilling connection that forms between Corey and Michael. It's like this mentor-student bond, but with, murder.
It's messed up, but it totally sucks you in.
Yeah.
You see their relationship evolving from this almost sympathetic dynamic to something much, much darker. And those lines between being a victim and becoming the monster, they start to get really blurry.
And speaking of monsters, I mean, we can't forget about the original Scream Queen, Laurie Strode.
Come on, Jamie Lee Curtis. She brought it.
Right. She always does. But there's just this whole new level of depth she gives to Laurie in this film. This isn't the scared teenager from 1978 anymore.
Nope. This Laurie is hardened. She's deeply scarred. I mean, how could she not be after all these years? But she's also a survivor in every sense of the word. You really believe she's fought like hell to get to where she is. Yeah, and we see her still grappling with the trauma, like those years of terror still haunt her. But at the same time, she's trying to break that cycle of violence, especially with her granddaughter, Allison.
That relationship between Laurie and Allison, it's really key to understanding how much Laurie has grown. I mean, she is determined to protect Allison from the darkness that just seems to, cling to their family.
It's powerful stuff.
Oh.
It makes you think about facing your demons and about the possibility of actually forging a new path, even when history keeps trying to repeat itself.
Definitely. And on that note, the movie really digs into those themes of trauma and legacy. Honestly, it's like Haddonfield itself becomes a character, one that's haunted by the legacy of Michael Myers.
I see what you mean. Like, the town itself is almost like a pressure cooker of fear and suspicion. You can feel the weight of all those past traumas just hanging in the air.
And it shows how those events, especially something as horrific as, Michael Myers, how they can ripple outward and affect not just individuals, but entire communities too. It just adds this whole other layer to the Halloween franchise.
Definitely. And then, of course, there's the mask. I mean, it's more than just a disguise at this point, right? It's
Yeah.
like an entity in itself. And the way the film uses it to visually represent the transfer of evil is just brilliant.
For sure. It's like the physical manifestation of Michael's evil, his legacy of violence. And when Corey puts it on, it's almost like a passing of the torch.
Exactly. Like Michael's darkness, his rage,
Yeah.
it's found a new vessel.
Yeah. And talk about a way to fuel the fire of those ending debates.
Oh, yeah, we can't not talk about that ending.
Right. I mean, wow. Huge spoilers, by the way, in case anyone is just joining us for the first time. But yeah. Just when you think you know how it's going to end, Halloween Ends throws a total curveball, and fans are still reeling.
They are. It's definitely a divisive one.
Understatement. Is it satisfying? Does it pay off Michael's reign of terror? I mean, some would say yes. Some would say absolutely not.
For sure. I think a lot of it comes down to what you're looking for in a Halloween movie and in a series finale. But honestly, whether you loved it or hated it, I think we can all agree that it makes you think.
Absolutely. I mean, the filmmakers took a risk, and they definitely got people talking. Whether it's what you wanted or not, you can't say it wasn't memorable.
Right. Love it or hate it, Halloween Ends definitely doesn't shy away from some very real, very uncomfortable questions about, like, the nature of evil, cycles of violence, what it really means to survive something so horrific.
And to me, that's the mark of effective horror. It sticks with you. Days, weeks later, you're still thinking about it, unpacking it.
So true. Which, of course, brings us to the most important question. What did you think of Halloween Ends? Did this ending work for you? Did it ruin the entire franchise? We want to know. Head down to the comments and let us know. And while you're there, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive.
See you next time.